So I'm not going to lie to you lads, these midweek Premier League games, they actually caught me off guard in the sense I hadn't a fucking clue they were even happening. It was just chilling like, oh, you know, we're all doing well, everyone's happy, and then boom, Palace are playing fucking Wolves and Brighton are playing Forest on a Tuesday. So here you go boys, a Premier League verdict of a Friday. You love to see it. I hope. Hello guys, how are you getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly and you're very welcome back to another episode of the Premier League verdict. I hope you guys have had a good week. Leave a like on the video if you go on to enjoy and subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 1k by the end of the year, yada yada yada. Now we've got all that bollocks out of the way. It's important bollocks though, it is important. We have got our graphic up in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, for our green, yellow and red box for the Premier League verdict match week 11, I believe it is. Obviously, we're now trying to cram as many games as we can into the Premier League over the next couple of weeks because we've got a World Cup coming up in about a month's time, so it's going to be fairly hectic. I'm going to be run off my fucking feet. Anywho, the first two boxes are actually both going to cover the same game, and I'm going to give the green box first of all to Manchester United for a big statement victory over Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham not really looking like a side that you think are going to finish where they currently are in the Premier League's top three. Listen, I know Chelsea only drew with Tottenham back in August or September, whenever it was, but I genuinely, how many times can I say that in a row, don't think Tottenham are up to much when it comes to playing up against the big sides. I said it when Chelsea played them, it was a 2-2 draw, but Chelsea were by far the better team in the game. We just didn't have that clinical edge, and Manchester United absolutely did the other night. Fred and Bruno with the goals, and a thoroughly dominant display from Manchester United. I mean, we look at the possession stats, they just about traded possession with 51%, 10 shots on target to Tottenham's 2, 28 shots in total for Manchester United, 9 in total for Tottenham. Apart from that, the stats are fairly, similar, but Manchester United thoroughly dominant in the stats that do matter. Chelsea have United the weekend, lads, and I'm not exactly confident. I'm really not, and it's just because it's Man United in the big games this season have actually been decent, maybe the Manchester derby aside. Look at, they've beaten Liverpool this season, they've beaten Arsenal, and now they've beaten Tottenham. They just seem to be able to turn it on the big occasion, and I do expect them to do the same against Chelsea the weekend. I think Chelsea, has been a while since we've beaten Manchester United. I genuinely can't remember the last time it happened in the league. So, setting a nice positive tone as we look to move forward. But there was a shocking moment at the end of the game, and this is probably something that stole the headlines from what was a fantastic Manchester United performance, and that is where our yellow box comes in. Cristiano Ronaldo. Being a bold boy on the sideline for Manchester United because he got picked last at break time, basically, for the team game. I understand both sides of this argument, okay? So Cristiano Ronaldo has now been suspended by the club, meaning he will miss the game against Chelsea the weekend. I don't actually think he was going to play the game against Chelsea the weekend anyway. He might have been a sub coming off the bench. But he's been suspended by the club for walking off 5 minutes before the end of the game at Old Trafford the other night against Tottenham, and obviously it's walking off in a sign of frustration. He's not getting on the pitch once again, and to an extent, right, I will talk about both sides of this argument. The argument from the club's standpoint, they're absolutely right to suspend him. Apparently he actually refused to come onto the pitch as well when Erik ten Hag asked him to come on. Apparently he said no. So basically a reverse Kepa, or a repeat of Carlos Tevez in like 2011, 2012 or whenever that was. So yeah, Ronaldo refused to come on, and then he walks off the pitch with 5 minutes to go until the end. So the club are absolutely right to suspend him. I don't really care who you are, whether you're literally Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi. That kind of behaviour is not acceptable at any level of the game. It's not. I said it about Kepa at the time in 2019. You do what your manager tells you to do, no matter what. No one player is bigger than the club, and that's no different here. And you would expect better from a man who's been, at the top of the game for the longest time as Ronaldo has been, and someone who has that experience and is as old as he is. What is he, 38, 37, 38 years of age? Like, you would think Cristiano Ronaldo would have a little bit more cop on than that. I read his statement this morning. Not a genuine word in that statement. I'll read it out for you here. As I've always done throughout my career, I try to live and play respectfully towards my colleagues, my adversaries and my coaches. That hasn't changed. I haven't changed. I'm the same person. I'm the same professional I've been for the last 20 years playing elite football. And respect has always played a very important role in my decision-making process. debatable. I started very young. The older and more experienced players' examples were always very important to me. Therefore, later on, I've always tried to set the example of myself and my youngsters that grew in all teams that I've represented. Unfortunately, that's not always possible, and sometimes the heat of the moment gets the best of us. Right now, I just feel like I have to keep working hard, encouraging, support my teammates, and be ready for everything in any given game. Giving in to the pressure is not an option. It never was. This is Manchester United, and United we must stand. Soon we'll be together again. It's a statement. It's not an apology. But Ronaldo was absolutely in the wrong, okay? Before I say what I'm about to say, just know that I fully agree with what the club has done. Ronaldo, fully in the wrong. Absolutely. However, I do understand where he's coming from to a degree, because he wanted to leave in the summer. Obviously, he wanted to play Champions League football. Obviously, Champions League is his competition, and I think me and Jack actually said it on the podcast before the end of the transfer window. We were like, surely Ronaldo's going to end up playing in the Champions League. Whoever he's playing with next season, it won't be Man United. He tried and tried and tried, him and his agent, the whole summer to try and get a move out of Manchester United, and it never transpired, and now he's stuck there. And maybe a mixture of elements here, with Ten Hag looking to add a more youthful spark into the Manchester United front line, and certainly looking to do that pressing from the front that I don't think Ronaldo would have done at any point in his career, let alone when he's 38 or whatever he is now. But also because of the whole transfer merry-go-round bullshit that was happening in the summer, Ronaldo didn't really have a pre-season, so therefore he was never going to be in Ten Hag's plans from the beginning. And United's forwards, like the likes of Rashford, say for example, have started off the season pretty decent, so Ronaldo has actually fallen down the pecking order at Manchester United as a result. It's a sticky situation. I don't think it'll affect the squad too much the weekend. Like I said, I didn't think Ronaldo was going to play anyway, and I still think they're going to get the win over Chelsea anyway, because that's just how it goes these days. But yeah, those are our first two boxes covered. Manchester United in the green box for their brilliant performance, but then overshadowed by the yellow box and Ronaldo's antics after the game. Moving on to our stinker of the week then, and Steven Gerrard has been sacked by Aston Villa. Another manager be shown the door in the Premier League, and kind of feels like about time. A couple of people thought he might get sacked after the Chelsea game. He now has been sacked after his side has been thrashed by Fulham by 3-0 at Craven Cottage last night. And I mean, this was coming. Like, let's be honest. I mean, look, he still outlasted Liz Truss, but it's not been working for Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa for a long time now. I think it's gone quite under the radar, a lot of it, because he is who he is. He's Steven Gerrard, you know, he's England's hero from back in the day and Liverpool hero from back in the day. He actually made a really positive start to managerial life at Aston Villa, but it just didn't go well from then on in, and their form towards the end of last season and the start of this has been nothing short of absolutely atrocious, and I'm not in the least bit surprised to see Steven Gerrard get the sack. There are links that Maurizio Pochettino could be returning to the Premier League to take charge of Aston Villa. That would be a very interesting one indeed. But yeah, it was coming for a majority of reasons. Obviously, you know, you look at the results have been poor, and the level of performances, you know, Aston Villa fans want to be excited. They want to be standing on their feet, not sitting down, you know, excited up on their feet throughout games, and the football just hasn't been that from Aston Villa this season. They've been boring to watch, and the results have been utter shit. I mean, they've been struggling to put the ball in the back of the net. They've struggled to be creative. They actually played quite well against Chelsea the weekend, I thought, but again, that problem remains where they just can't find the net. But yeah, it's not particularly a big shock. I fully expected this to happen, particularly after they were hammered by Fulham last night. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that in the transfer window. What? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Jesus, that's a fucking weird one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on everything I've discussed in this video: Steven Gerrard's sacking and Cristiano Ronaldo's antics at Manchester United. Let me know in the comment section down below. Would you have changed any of the boxes? All that kind of crack. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new around here, and I will catch you later.